You're new to this. I'm telling you, do not charge $970 because you're going to go out of business. Nobody knows you. You don't have any credibility. You don't have any results. You don't have any momentum. You don't have a brand. You don't have any perception. It's not going to work. Alan ended up coaching that person later. They took their advice, and they ended up going out of business.
The correct formula, the optimal formula, the healthy, constructive formula is I become better. I contribute by becoming better in my passions, for some adding value, and then I receive value in return after I grow and give. So it's grow, give, get. That's the formula. Grow, give, get. Grow, give, get. Grow, give, get.
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another episode of Next Level University, where we help you level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. Today, for episode number 1963, don't be entitled, but don't be a martyr. At this stage, I've had the privilege of working with many, 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 many people. And I have found that there's usually two types of people. In the beginning, there are the people that think, I am going to charge $1,000 an hour and I am only going to work with 5 people and blah, 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 blah. I shouldn't have to promote my stuff. People should just come to me. They should flock to me, like they say about the Capistrano. That's one subset. And then the other subset of people are just martyrs who just give, and never, ever ask for anything. Now, I would say I would rather be a martyr in the beginning than entitled, honestly, because I think you get further, genuinely. I think you actually make meaningful progress externally. I guess there's an argument for both. But yeah, that was my thought for today's episode. I think it's really easy to, if you're somebody who feels like, going back to an episode we had previously where we talked about how purpose just isn't enough. Finding your purpose and the mission and your message, and that's amazing, and it's super important, and it's probably a requirement for fulfillment, and it's awesome. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to succeed because there has to be some strategy connected. Just like you can't just be strategic and do it just for the money because that's most likely not going to be fulfilling either. I think this is another one of those equations where there are some people out there that are entitled. You think just because you started coaching, people should give you money. Okay. There are other people out there that, even though you've worked really hard on yourself and you've worked really hard on adding value and providing content and providing transformation, you never ask for what you're worth. I don't think either of those are a healthy place to live. So how do we figure out where we are and then how to get closer to the center, the drive to 5, if you will?
Entitlement is believing that you are worthy of something without becoming worthy of it, without earning it. So one of them is, the martyr is, I'm going to earn it, and never receive.
Should we define martyr? I'm not saying you don't know what it means, whether you're out there watching or listening. Martyr is somebody who dies for something that they believe in. I think that's probably the easiest. I'll look up the actual definition. I learned about it in history class when I was a young man, so.
A young lad.
Please hold here. Martyr. A martyr is someone who is persecuted or killed for their beliefs or cause. A little heavier than someone who sacrifices their life or something valuable for a principle. A person who suffers a significant consequence in protest of a cause. So yeah, you could say like, I believe that self-improvement should be something that's way more widespread. I'm never going to charge anybody for anything, and I'm just going to run myself into the freaking ground.
Mm-hmm.
Martyrdom.
Emilia, excuse me.
Me. I got it today, baby.
Just made me think of something, but it's irrelevant to everyone. Okay. Emilia is upgrading her tech. So she is going to be getting a MacBook Pro. And have you ever seen the Mac Minis?
I don't think so.
You remember way back in the day when people had, and some people still do, so big desktop computers?
Mm-hmm.
The big, towers.
I had a Gateway.
Nice.
When they first came out.
You would, man. Yeah. Sorry.
My mother purchased it. I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it's so funny. The way you are with cars is the way I am with computers. It's
typewriter.
like
Hey, I had a fucking typewriter.
I know, man. I know.
So,
Did you know that the double space at the end of a period was because of typewriters?
I did not.
So people that are from previous generations, like Gen X and older, they do double space after the dot. I think you might do that. Do you do double space after the period?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Not intentionally.
I would judge you harshly if you did.
I'm an idiot, so maybe I do, but it's not because of the typewriter. I can tell you that much.
I heard from this is totally irrelevant, but also I'll bring it back. Emilia's sister has a friend who is a kindergarten teacher. And apparently they're not learning how to write. They're only learning how to type now.
Ooh, dangerous game.
Yeah, see? Fascinating.
All
Also,
that time, cursive came in pretty.
How many times have you written in cursive?
0. Other than when I signed my name, I don't even remember like the Z. It's like I'll just fucking squiggle, squiggly. Looks good. Do you remember, last thing before we stop wasting people's time, do you remember learning cursive with shaving cream on the desks? Do you remember that?
Maybe.
You remember that? It was like my favorite time ever.
It's reckless. Okay. Entitlement versus martyrdom. Emilia's getting a new MacBook laptop, and she's going to get, because she has a standing desk, she has 2 different sort of space stations, for lack of better phrasing, 2 different desks with big monitors and blah, blah, blah. Her office is very well set up. So you've got the MacBook Mini, which is this big. It's 5x5. It's a little bigger than that, but 5x5. It's tiny. What used to fit in your gateway, the big, is now this tiny little thing. It's unbelievable what's just happened with tech. It's really cool. But anyways, so my point of this is she called up Apple, and it wasn't Apple. It was some call center. And this guy ran her through the numbers. And then she said, hey, I want to check in with Ral. Ral is her label for my math brain.
Okay.
So she calls me Ral. Ral stands for rationality. Like when she wants to make a rational decision, she comes to me with numbers. So she brings Ral into her office. Hey, I'm Ral. What's happening? We're so weird. And it's not till I'm telling these stories that I realize how weird these things are.
Yeah, you guys are weird as shit. In the best way, not a bad way.
So she pulls up her Remarkable up on the big screen, and she pulls up the website on the other screen. 2 big TVs on the walls. And on the Remarkable, it has what the guy said and the price points. On the other TV, it has the Mac pricing and the website. And I'm like, this isn't making any sense. Whoever that is wrong, completely wrong. She's like, I effing knew it. So to try to break this down to provide context, the MacBook Mini is about $800 for the best one, $900 for the best one. The MacBook Pro for the best one is like $2,600, something like that. And the monthly payment on the MacBook Pro was, according to the call center, was $159 a month. And the MacBook Mini was $370. I'm like, what are we buying, a car here? This is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. My point of this whole thing is entitlement would be, and again, I want everyone to equate this to your own life. And I know this is a business metaphor. Those land really well, Kev.
Business.
Imagine if Apple just decided, well, I think instead of $800 for the MacBook Mini, I want to charge $8,000. All of the customers that are excited for the MacBook Mini would immediately go, yeah, fuck that. I'm going to go buy Microsoft. I'm going to go buy a Lenovo or ZenBook or whatever. I think that that's the extreme that you were talking about before. And she's going to end up getting it for the right price and all that stuff, so ignore the rest of that other story. But the point is that we had a mentor who had this concept called add a zero. So if you charge $470 for your product or service, charge $4,700. And I think that it's the dumbest business advice ever. That's entitlement. The MacBook Mini didn't get any better. And you're just going to add a zero because you think it's worth more than that because you think that. The problem in life, and I really want this to land, one of the reasons why a lot of people don't succeed externally is because of entitlement. They say, well, I should earn more. But what you don't understand is the business can't just charge more because they feel like it. Because if they do, people are going to go to Microsoft instead of Apple or Dell or whatever, newegg.com. The point that I'm making, though, is entitled means you deserve, never work to earn it. Martyrdom is you earn it, never receive anything. Neither one of those is conducive. So here's the new formula. Grow, contribute, receive. In that order. So I make the Mac, and this is just a metaphor. I make the MacBook, I'm Apple, I make the MacBook Mini better, more powerful, looks better, designed better, okay? I grow, that's grow. I contribute, I sell it to people, and in return, I get money. Not $8,000, but $800. That, I think, is a formula for success. It's I grow, Alan Lazarus, Kevin Palmieri, we grow, we become better podcasters. We contribute and add value on this podcast. And if we do that enough, we will receive profit as a byproduct. I think that that's the drive to 5 here. Whereas an entitled person says, I'm going to start a podcast, how come I don't have 1 million listens? And a martyr starts a podcast, does 2,000 episodes, and basically does it for free without making $1.
It's a very interesting thing because I think I would always much rather start off as a martyr. I was having a conversation with somebody recently, and I said, yeah, we just got a $10,000 client. Like they just paid us $10,000. And if I stopped there, you'd be like, oh, yeah, cool. You guys, you don't do anything for less than $10,000. Like, no. I mean, that's the only reason we ever had that opportunity is because we've been doing this for the last 6 years at a very reasonable price. And the only reason it's $10,000 is because they wanted like 500 of the same thing. It's not because I decided like, yeah, 10,000 seems good. I don't get out of bed for any less than a Jibo, baby. So
can you tell a story with the add a zero and then one more story with the client, we'll call him Steve, where you raised the price and lost the opportunity completely? Now,
yes.
I want to preface this real quick. Anyone watching or listening, your career, your job, your career, your calling, your business, I don't care if you're in corporate or 9 to 5 or part-time or freelancer, this applies to you. This applies to everyone. Just because you're not a business owner doesn't mean this doesn't apply. It's the same principle. Entitlement will get you killed in business. If Apple was entitled, they'd say, well, we're the best, so we're going to charge $8,000. Well, good luck selling Mac Minis for $8,000 because when I saw that price point that was wrong by the call center, I said, do not do that under any circumstances. You might as well buy another car instead of that. It turns out the price was wrong because that person was inaccurate. But
the price is wrong, Bob. So we were at this, well, Alan kind of already alluded to it, but we were at this mastermind and they said, hey, we're going to teach you how to essentially 10x your income right away. I'm in. Money's good. I've been waiting to 10x my income.
What do you hear? What do you think when you hear that now?
Now it's like, it's just
what did you think back then?
Dumb. I thought there was going to be a strategy. I thought I'm open to hearing. I don't expect it to be one line or just 5 words strung together. Now it's like, oh, you're going to 10x at 100x. And it's like, no, that's dumb. It's stupid. Dumb. Some people can, yes. But it's the exception to the rule, not the rule. This is my new thing. Most of the sexiest advice out there on the planet is going to work for the smallest amount of people. Nice. There are some people that can raise their prices at a zero. There are some people. But not most people. We can't.
There's a therapist, and I'll keep it anonymous. There's a therapist, you and Taryn wanted to go see a couples counselor, not because anything was wrong, because you wanted to improve your relationship. I respect that. And you found out the price, and you were like, there's no way.
I think it was like
no way.
I think it was like $500 an hour.
You cannot do, not everybody can do that. Now, that person has clients at that rate, but it's it's a different demographic, right? So now if she just added a zero, $4,700 an hour. There's no way you guys could do that. who exactly are you coaching or therapizing, right? So
Well, yeah.
just keep in mind that Kevin and I have a window into the lives of many individuals, and there's a big difference in the real world and the social world. In the social world, it sounds really cool to add a 0 or to 10x your income, but in the real world, there's a lot more to it than that. And it doesn't mean you can't do it, but usually to 10x your income, it's going to take at least 3 to 5 years, if not 10 years.
Well, think about it this way. If you're out there right now and let's say you're a life coach and you charge $10 per call, yeah, at some point you'll be able to add a 0 to that, right?
Yeah.
At some point you'll be able to add a 0 to that because you're under. You're in the martyrdom category. I mean, it's going to be really hard to make enough meaningful money charging that to grow the business. But if you're somebody who charges $150 an hour and you know what? I want to charge $1,500 an hour. That's entitled. Why? Why though? Do you feel like you've gotten 10 times more valuable? Do you feel like you can add 10 times the value? Do you feel like you're capable of helping this person solve their problems in 90% less time? So it used to take 10 calls, now it only takes 1 call. If none of those are the answer, maybe it's coming from a place of entitlement. I think that's the conversation. So yeah, they literally said, we're going to teach you how to 10x your income today. All you have to do is add a 0. It's like, I thought it was a joke. Like, you guys are good. You got me. Now let's talk. No, that was
You actually thought they were joking?
At the beginning. I mean, yeah, what a dumb thing to say. Yeah,
Do you remember the guy there who was like, I did charge $2,000 for that event. I think I'm going to do $20,000 now.
Yeah, like good luck.
Who's going to pay $20,000?
But here's the thing. Almost everybody in that room was financially free. Getting to that mastermind, I mean, that was like an expensive mastermind. Honestly, a lot of them probably are going to get away with it because the clients they work with can afford it.
But they won't be able to sustain it.
But
necessarily, yeah.
There was a young lady there who was very new to coaching, had never coached before, had no clients.
This person. Huge fan. I coached this
awesome person.
Yeah, wonderful.
Awesome person.
Yeah.
Her and I went outside because after the sessions, you can go outside, hang for a little bit, take notes, whatever.
Now, keep in mind, when Kevin's pulling her aside, I want to make sure we share this. When Kevin's pulling her aside, we had already had a multi-6-figure business. Our own business, multi-6 figures at this point. So you're not talking from a place of not knowing how to build a business.
Right.
You're pulling her aside having done this from scratch. You were where she was 4 years before that.
And I had worked with a lot of people that were in her position.
Yeah. Hello, NLU listener. Thank you, as always, for listening to Next Level University. Real quick, I just want to jump in and let you know about the Next Level Dreamliner. This is a journal that I use every single day. Achieve your dreams 90 days at a time. It breaks down your dreams into goals, milestones, and daily habits. We hope you enjoy it. The link will be in the show notes.
Again, that advice wasn't for her. So her and I went outside and I said, look, I understand what you're feeling right now. You feel like you just got handed the keys to the castle. And maybe right now you're going to charge your clients $97 per call. You're new to this. I'm telling you, do not charge $970 because you're going to go out of business. Nobody knows you. You don't have any credibility. You don't have any results. You don't have any momentum. You don't have a brand. You don't have any perception. It's not going to work. Alan ended up coaching that person later. They took their advice, and they ended up going out of business.
I tried my best.
It's hard. But.
And by the way, the person who gave that advice,
also went out of business.
Who hosted that event, also went out of business.
Yes. And again, I like this person. This person was helpful to us, and they're a positive person, and they're a positive influence in the world.
Huge fan.
I just think that advice is terrible for the vast majority of humans.
They got a $300,000 client. And you were there for this. You were witnessing me ask them about it. Mm. They're like, oh, yeah, we're just going to do that from now on then. I said, well, what do you mean? They said, well, they signed up for $3,000. We ended up getting them results, and now they just decided to do $300,000. And so now we're going to stop doing the $3,000. Wait. But isn't that that's like a unicorn client. You're not going to.
Well, the thing was they lived in the same neighborhood, and they went on walks like every day for like 2 years or something. Like they were.
You can't replicate that.
Yeah, it's.
You like babysit this person's children.
Yeah, it's very specific.
Yeah, but don't build your business on the anomaly. That's like Apple. Yeah, Apple has clients that pay for computers. Imagine a school buys all Apple computers. Our school had the very first Macs. Remember way back, the middle school? That was probably a good, $80,000 or something client for them. But that doesn't mean they charge Emilia for the MacBook Mini $80,000.
Well, they tried.
No, they didn't try. They didn't try. But again, let's bring this back to the personal development side, which is whatever your job is, whatever your career is, whatever your calling is, if you have a business, a career, or a job. When I made minimum wage, I worked for a golf course. I was a cart kid and a busboy, and I used to clean clubs. On the 18th green, the guys would come up and I'd try to clean their clubs. They'd give me a tip. I found ways to add value to make more money. But I didn't go to the owners and say, hey, instead of the money you're paying me, the $8 an hour you're paying me, $7.25 I think it was at the time, minimum wage. Instead of that, I was thinking $70. Thoughts? I'm 15, 16 years old. They would be like, get fucked.
Yeah, we'll find someone else.
Yeah, we'll find someone else because there's a lot of people that need that job. I was in high school.
Yeah.
I went to this seminar, and they told me to add a zero.
Let me ask you a question. I think the fear under being a martyrdom is usually I'm not valuable. Most likely, that's at least what I've seen. Is like, I don't want people to think I'm doing this for the wrong reasons. I don't feel like I'm worth it yet. I don't have enough proof, whatever it is. What do you think the fear under the entitled side is?
The same. It's a different response to the same insecurity. The insecurity is I don't want people to see me or view me as less valuable. Because deep down I know that I think, and again, I know that sounds presumptuous, but entitlement is a trauma response to insecurity.
Well, we're not claiming that this is scientific by any stretch of the imagination, so I think it might sound
well. Let me ask you, why do you? Kevin and I have a really hard time with entitlement. We do. I say this on other podcasts. Whenever I go on other podcasts, they say, where can people find you? I say, we have a podcast called Next Level University. You can go to nextleveluniverse.com, spelled just like it sounds. We've got a book club. We've got monthly meetups. We've got a Dreamliner, journal, all kinds of free stuff. We've got paid stuff. We got a lot going on. If you are humble and grateful and you have a sincere interest to earn your way to success externally and fulfillment internally, you're going to love me, you're going to love Kev, you're going to love NLU. We're the ultimate tryhards. If you on any level are entitled and ungrateful and lack humility and you want huge rewards for minimal effort, do not reach out under any circumstances. You're going to waste your time and ours because we're never going to be able to help you play that game because we're not playing that game. Don't get me wrong, Kevin and I, we are earning our way. I think we're finally running a formula where we're earning it, growing. We're working on ourselves to grow as an individual, but as a business. And then we're giving with that business, adding value. And then we are receiving as well. Receiving profitable. We are a profitable company. That is the formula. So again, martyrdom is give, never get.
Yeah.
Entitlement is get, never give, or give very little, but get. The correct formula, the optimal formula, the healthy, constructive formula is I become better. I contribute by becoming better in my passions, for some adding value, and then I receive value in return after I grow and give. So it's grow, give, get. That's the formula. Grow, give, get. Grow, give, get. Grow, give, get. And when you receive, you can increase your quality of life, which then allows you to grow even more and contribute even more and then get even more. Apple started 47 years ago, and at the beginning, they couldn't charge that much because they had shitty products.
You were going to say something, and you didn't say it.
What?
I don't know. I don't know what you're going to say. You're going to say something.
How do you know?
I think you said I'm going to say something. I think. I could have been out to lunch. The cough medicine has taken me.
There's a book called The Go-Getter.
Bob Berg.
I honestly don't know. Is that true?
It's Bob Berg, yeah.
And then there's a book called The Go-Giver.
Sorry, that's Bob Berg.
Okay,
Go-Giver.
Go-Giver. So there's The Go-Getter. That's the entitled. Then there's the Go-Giver. That's the martyr. And then there's the Grow-Giver. I grow, and then I give, and then I receive, and then I grow more. This is a really cool metaphor. I'll go quickly with it. But if I use Kev as an example, Kev's bodybuilding right now. I heard on a podcast recently.
Uh-oh.
God, this is so hard for me. I found out that when I'm on stage, I burn 14,000 calories in a day.
And
I remember thinking,
stage?
I remember thinking to myself, there's no way you would wither away to nothing. That means you have to eat 15,000 calories a day just to sustain your current
on
body.
Stage doing what?
Speaking.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't. So my point is that if you, I'll use Kev as an example. Kev goes to the gym and he lifts weights. Then Kev has to eat a lot. When he eats more than he burns, he builds muscle. I think that a martyr is someone who is always giving more than they're getting. Rather than someone, it's almost like entitled is eat, never burn. And then a martyr is burn to the ground. And I think that that's, with the human body, if you are always giving more energy out than you are receiving in, you're going to die. The book Viktor Frankl wrote, called A Man's Search for Meaning, talked about how people were dying of starvation because they were working them to literally the bones, and the body ate its own muscle, and a lot of them died because they only had a bread ration and like a teaspoon of margarine per day, or honey or whatever. And that's basically giving, being forced to work in this case, in the concentration camps. And they just die because they are only ever giving, they're never receiving. And I think that that's what a lot of people do, unfortunately, in business, and that's how they go out of business. And then other people are not doing any work and just sitting there entitled, expecting to get people to work for them. And I think that that's...
I think it's worth exploring because it crosses over to so many different things. When Tara and I go out to dinner, we usually, and again, I don't know if this helps or not, that would definitely change the way I do this, but we usually stack up our plates. We stack them up, make them easy for the waiter or waitress or the bus person who's going to clean it up after. I don't think they should cut my food in front of me, and I don't think they should do all that. I feel like that's a little bit entitled. But I also can understand that you can take that too far if I'm like, let me take it to the back. I'm going to clean my own. I'll clean my own dishes. Let me take care of that. Honestly, let me cook my own food too. Like, take the day off. That's probably not sustainable either. I think figuring out what end you're on, why you're on that end, the discomfort with working towards the middle, that is step one. And honestly, I think it's going to serve you. I think that's going to serve you because if you're entitled in a relationship, you're screwed. If you're a martyr in a relationship, you're equally screwed on a different front. And I think that carries over to everything. We all know somebody who they are just insufferable because nothing is ever good enough for them, and they always send it back proverbially, not really, but it's always like, well, this isn't right. But we also know somebody who you could literally serve them a baseball covered in chocolate, and they'd be like, I'll find a way to get it down. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Because they don't feel valuable and they don't feel worthy of anything more. I don't think either of those are the place to live. We have to figure out what 5 is for each and every one of us in our own unique way, and that is the goal in today's episode.
And for any new listeners, 5 means the center point.
The center
0
point.
is you have no value and you're a martyr and you're give, never receive. 10 is you're entitled. You think you deserve things by default, and people should cut your meat for you in front of you, and they should be fanning you with leaves to make sure that you're nice and cool. Yeah,
well, who was the guy's name in Titanic? Cal.
Cal
Cal is entitled.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Cal is entitled. Let's say Jack is pretty close to 5.
I agreed. Yeah.
Even though
100%.
he's treated like, where's Rose?
Rose is under. Martyr.
Rose is under. Martyr.
Yeah.
See, there you go. Titanic is life.
She's literally getting married in that film to protect her family because her mom is afraid of the debts that her dad left.
Yes.
And
Let me ask you a question. You know they made a Titanic 2? Not them, but someone did. They
Seriously?
did, yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah, I bet. That's tough. That's a tough act to follow.
It is a tough act to follow. Also, how could you? I mean, there was one Titanic. They made a movie on it. That's actually what happened. Obviously not, it's storyized, but yeah, okay. All right, Next Level Nation, if you are trying to stay more consistent in fitness, Alan and I are very bad at many things. We are also very good at some things, and one of those things is staying consistent, especially when it comes to fitness. We have a totally free WhatsApp group. It's called the Next Level Fitness Accountability Group. We are in there pretty much every day. There's people sharing their wins. There's people sharing their streaks, all that happy jazz. Reach out to me or Alan, but me is probably better because Alan is busier than I. My links for Instagram and Facebook are in the show notes, so you can just shoot me a DM. Hey, Kev, I want to be in the group. I'll make sure you get in there. We'll have that link below.
Here's my promise. If you are out there and you're struggling to be consistent, you're struggling to stay accountable, you're struggling to do the hard things that you know you need to be doing to achieve your goals, I'm leaning into goal achievement. So we'll have clarity, you'll have absolute clarity on 10-decade dreams, one statement toward your dreams, sort of your true north. Then we'll have your top 3 goals for the quarter. Then we'll have your top 3 priorities for the quarter. We'll have your top 3 metrics underneath those priorities. And then we'll have habits that you do daily and track daily in order to achieve your goals. If you're sick and tired of not achieving your goals, it's almost February and most people's New Year's resolutions at this point statistically are gone. If you don't want that anymore, reach out to me. So you can DM me on Facebook, DM Kev on Facebook for the fitness accountability group, DM me on Facebook if you want to coach with someone who is going to help you achieve your goals.
Boom. I think we're like 7.7% done with a year already. How crazy is that?
Yeah, it's wild.
It's wild. All right. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we do not have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Stay next level. Next Level Nation.